Welcome to today's course. Welcome to Client Onboarding in 2023. Within this course, we are discussing KYC, customer due diligence, appropriateness test, target market under product governance, AML risk scoring, and the risk-based approach. In other words, we cover all details you need to know in order to prepare your client onboarding procedure. Within this workshop, we include video recordings, self-study material, test questions, and a certification of 5 hours of CPDs. Within this workshop, you will understand and acquire necessary knowledge on anti-money laundering framework, assessment and management of AML risks, as well as KYC and customer due diligence procedures. You will be equipped with latest developments of AML, and beyond that, you will understand how to prepare your onboarding procedure, understanding product governance, and appropriateness. We will be practice acquired knowledge and test questions, and of course, receiving a certification. Context of our workshop includes money laundering, understanding the stages and methods of money laundering. And of course, terrorist financing. What is that? AML regulatory framework that is currently in place, assessing managed risks on a risk-based approach, know your customer and customer due diligence, client appropriateness and target market, client onboarding process, AML risk scoring, the ongoing monitoring and record keeping, know your customer, KYC, and customer due diligence. Within this section, we are discussing, of course, the different procedures, what is simplified due diligence, what is enhanced due diligence, and what are the different sets of documentation that we need to collect. The documentation and the reliance on third parties are further discussed here. So first of all, what is actually this customer identification and the procedures that we have to follow? We have to understand, as a first step, that we have to do this in order to establish a business with our customer, the customer due diligence. We are doing that again when we have doubts about the documents we have collected already, and when we have suspicion of money laundering, in order to collect again documents or more documents relevant to the suspicions that we have. When we carry one or more transactions, more than 15,000, we have to do customer due diligence or recollection of documents. And when we have transfer of funds by electronic means, more than 1,000 euros, when we have suspicions of money laundering. When client onboarding process. So within this section, which is very interesting and I like to explain, we are discussing the client acceptance policy, customer identification, the economic profile, and appropriateness. And within that, we are including good practices to follow. So, a client acceptance policy. Now, in general, principles to follow. We classify clients into various risk categories based on the risk perception. We conduct appropriate pre-account opening due diligence and identification measures, collection of appropriate data and documents before and during accepting new client. As we said, we have to verify the client and ensure that we keep up-to-date documents. Accept clients who belong in the target market of each product. Accept clients who have passed appropriateness or have acknowledged relevant risks warnings. Within the policy, we have to consider that it is designed considering the risk factors of the AML, the criteria of accepting or not accepting the new customers, the categorization criterion based on the 3 levels of risk assessment, the low, medium, the normal, and the high risks, Understanding the risk categories now, that you have to do enhanced due diligence when you have a high-risk client, collect more documentation. When you have medium risk, you categorize it as customer due diligence measures and you collect the relevant documentation. And you apply simplified due diligence when you have low-risk client.